What's happening, everybody? Let's check out Marcus's beautiful Nova. So, Marcus brought us this car. Larry Jeffers Race Cars built this one. This car is gorgeous. It's a Nova. It's going to be running on Pro Street in PDRA. This car is so pretty. I don't like red, but man, I really like this one. So, Marcus, I didn't mean that. Anyway, this car came to us, had a different EFI system in it, and he wasn't too happy with it. So we swapped it over to Holley EFI, and we used a Hardwire Electronics PDM 28. So we tried to make everything as clean and sealed up as we could. So there's your PDM 28, and then a solid state relay for trans brake bump. We use these bus connectors a lot. This is a bus connector. We use this for ignition. So if he had ever had something in the future for ignition, he can just grab it right there. So we also landed a bunch of spare stuff right here. So if he wants to add anything in the future, of course, there's a pin out for it as well. We've got a Holley injector driver module. And then it's been a minute since I've worked with these M&W ignition boxes. So these were in the car, and we were able to reuse them. They, just like a Pro 600 CDI, except for there's two of them. You know, capacitive discharge ignition, 8 individual coils. And they wire up very similarly to a Pro 600. So you just take your analog triggers from the ECU, that lightweight Dominator ECU back there. We should have had it painted to match the car. It's off, the tone of red's off a little bit. Sorry, Marcus. So anyway, you send analog triggers from the ECU over to the CDI boxes, and then they fire. So we've got a Preston Anderson with 3D prints us these stack mounts. They work really good. So nice and light, compact, keeps everything pretty tidy. So I'm zoomed like way in, there we go. So, and then we've got 3 12-position switches. These are from Haltech. So they're just a standard 5-volt input. So we wired all 3 of them up. I'm gonna have to talk with Marcus, see how he wants to program these, but we'll do timing offsets, boost offsets, maybe TC offset, whatever we want to do, we could do with those. So this is a non-lockup 400, and what we did is we planned for the future. That's the way we do just about everything, is we try to plan to make sure that if he wants to add anything to this thing, it's nice and easy. So we use these when we have like an open, it's like this is like an open transmission, right? So there's like no trans tunnel. So we can't use a bulkhead here because there's really nowhere to put a bulkhead, right? There's no reason to either put a bulkhead because there's no walls for it to pass through, right? So we use these. They are 18 position, right? Deutsch style connectors. Are from Amphenol. So you can see there's 3 rows, right? So what we did is we wired this for the dump valves that he has and whatnot, but we also wired it for lockup. So if he adds lockup, it's super easy for him to plug it in. Also wired it for lockup pressure. And then you've got another spare sensor there. You got 2 lockup solenoid spares over there. So you try to future-proof this stuff because adding into a fully booted and sealed harness is not exactly easy. So if you're wiring a car and you want, well, let me say this. If you want something like this, bring it to us. Don't try to do it yourself. So let's do it. But if you are trying to tackle this yourself, you should always future-proof what you're building, right? So like this car, this is a twin turbo car, obviously, right? But we landed some spare stuff underneath the hood here, right? So like if he wants to add something underneath the hood, he doesn't have to bring his car back from Texas for us to do it. There's a bunch of spares underneath the hood. There's some spares in the back of the car back here behind the CO2 bottle. Spares up by the shocks, all types of stuff. Hell, we even wired it, even though he adamantly told us not to. We even wired it and landed a plug up there if he ever wants to add a pneumatic chute release to this thing. So anyway, always try to plan and future-proof whatever you're doing so that if somebody comes out with some fancy new product that you want, you can just plug it right in. So we moved some stuff around a little bit on this thing. So originally, boost control solenoids were up there and ugly and didn't look right. So we kind of tucked them down here, added a dampener canister from RIFE so that will help dampen the dome signal. And then we've got turbo shaft speed, and we've got, where are they at? I don't remember what I'm looking for. Yeah, we got turbo shaft speed, laser ride height, and all the 16 injectors. So best injectors on the market, in my opinion. AFIS 600s, and then a set of Siemens Deca 220s. Let me talk about those injectors for a second. AFIS. Let's talk about them for a minute. So, for years, everybody got very accustomed to sizing injectors like you would with a different company. So, like, I'm not talking bad about any company, so, like, don't take this the wrong way. But Billet Atomizer was kind of like, well, Precision was the first company to come out with a big injector. But then Billet Atomizer came along and built their injectors, and they came out with the Billet Atomizer 550, then the 700, then the 850, then they've got tons of different injectors, okay? Everybody got used to sizing injectors based off of Billet Atomizers. So when I tell people that an engine like this, or like my own personal car, my personal car is a 540-something inch big block Chevrolet, with twin 94s, and it goes down the racetrack on a single set of AFIS 600s. Everybody always says, man, there's no way, I got Billet Atomizer 550s in my, Turbo LS, and, I'm almost out of injector. This happens all the time. I deal with this often. That's why I'm kind of like harping on this. But we deal with customers that call all the time about they need the biggest AFIS injector made. These are 600s. This engine is going to make more than your Turbo LS, than your single Turbo LS or whatever. And these are 600s. I predict that this engine will go down the racetrack on just this single injector, and it will be no greater than 75% duty cycle. Okay? Now, with that said, when you call or whatever, you buy injectors from whomever, AFIS injectors are honest flow rates, okay? So that 600 flows a real 600 pounds per hour. Other injector companies say that they flow that, and that's typically not the case. So also remember that you don't want an injector sized around static, 100% duty cycle, because then the injector never shuts off. If you just have an injector hung wide open, it's not actually doing its job. It's just squirting fuel in constantly. So AFIS injectors, if it's a small block single turbo deal, 9 chances out of 10, unless it's a really radical small block single turbo deal, a 400 pound per hour injector is going to do it. Or this is a small block. It's kind of a radical small block, Visner deal. So this is from Visner Engine Development. This is a small block. I think these are 88s. This thing's gonna make plenty of jam. 600s, no problem. We were running 800s in my buddy Josh's blower car. It's a big block with a F3 Pro Charger, and we swapped the car over to 600s because we never really exceeded over 30% duty cycle. So these injectors do what they say they're supposed to do. Keep that in mind when you size them. Enough of my rambling, back to this badass hot rod. So, let's see. We've got, you know, shock sensors, all the normal stuff, twin line locks. It's been a minute since we've done twin line locks. There's one of them, and we're monitoring brake pressure on the front and the rear. Where's the other one? Oh, the other one I think is under the car. I can't remember. But twin line locks, so that's kind of neat. We could do a bunch of stuff with that. When you want to do your burnout, you can activate the front line lock. But then when you want to stage the car, say you bump the car in, you could have it activate the rear line lock so that the car creeps in a little bit smoother. Lots of pretty neat stuff you can do with twin line locks. Obviously not a necessity, but it's cool. This car's cool. Figured I'd talk about it. Guy I know online, maybe he's watching this video, Vernon Swindell, makes some of the coolest backgrounds. So we're gonna do a really cool background on this thing with his racing company's logo in it and stuff. So Vernon's gonna shoot me over the artwork for that, and then we'll set the dash up for him. So that'd be neat. We've got a 6-button keypad in there. That's the push to talk button. Huh, I'm gonna move that. I like that there. Anyway, look at that, I just realized that. I don't fit in this car. I'm a little bit too svelte to fit in this one. So I missed that part. But anyway, 6-button keypad from Blink Marine, an e-stop. That e-stop actually doesn't shut the power off to the car, but it will shut the engine down because Larry Jeffers, when they built this thing, they installed this. So this is pretty neat. Obviously not an easy thing. We use contactors, but we've got a handle here, and you pull the handle and it engages this cable, and then this cable comes down, grabs a hold of that right there and shuts off the master kill switch. And then this one goes to the back of the car, or no, vice versa. This is from the front of the car. This one's from the back of the car. So pretty neat, a little different. It's actually not that uncommon in the pro mod world. So he's got a mechanical shut off here, and then that kill switch up there, actually right there, will kill the engine. So yeah, this thing's pretty sweet. The bummer about this is that we're gonna have to race against this in PDRA Pro Street. And I don't know if we're gonna be able to keep up with this one, so, which is okay. I love seeing our customers win. I don't even care if we lose to them. So we're going PDRA Pro Street racing here too. So anyway, badass Nova. Wanted to share it with y'all. Larry Jeffers has got like everything. Like he's got his own, look at that, his own parachutes. I'm assuming somebody makes them for him, but either way, pretty sweet. So this car's slick. I like it. Somewhere in this video, Laura's gonna edit in us firing it up and it running and driving and blah, blah, blah. So hopefully she did that. All right, I'm out. Time to get back to work. First attempt, cold start. See how it goes. No primer pump. Next one on the chopping block is an oldie, but a goodie. This is the converter coupe. So post up a video on this. We're making good headway on this one. So, and then we've got a Camaro up there with an SMX. That's really sweet. I really wanted, when he dropped off the Camaro, I said, man, I wish it was blue, because then we would have been red, white, blue. But we're red, white, red. That's okay. So, yeah, anyway, thanks for watching. See ya.